Lakshmi Hridaya Stotram is unique in that this is coupled with another stotram, Narayana Hridayam, to form a pair. They are found in Atharva Rahasyam. They were given out by sage Bhargava. The final part of Narayana Hridayam says that Narayana Hridayam is to be recited first, to be followed by the recital of Lakshmi Hridayam, and again the recital of Narayana Hridayam. This is not to be recited separately as a single piece. This is to stress the fact that the Lord Narayana and Lakshmi are indeed one, though spoken of as two different deities. Narayana Hridayam and Lakshmi Hridayam belong to the category of Stotram. The appellation Stotram, Stuti, and Stavam all describe a hymn only. Stavaha Stotram Nutihi Stutihi, says Amara, the Sanskrit lexicon. They all narrate the qualities of a deity. Guna Sankirtanam is Stotram, says Sri Shankaracharya in his commentary to Vishnu Sahasranama. Narayana Hridayam and Lakshmi Hridayam form a pair of very valuable and sacred hymns. Narayana Hridayam is shorter one. It only consists of 39 verses. Lakshmi Hridayam is longer and consists of 108 verses. The word Hridayam is popularly taken to mean the heart. The word is also used to mean secret, true, or divine knowledge. Being hymns found in the Veda, the Narayana Hridayam and Lakshmi Hridayam stotras are highly efficacious. They also contain recondite Vedantic truths which may be found in Upanishads, Puranas, Bhagavad Gita, etc. These truths are also to be seen in other stotras and in the hymns of later Acharyas. Lakshmi Hridayake Stotre Sarvam Anyat Prakashitam. So, to describe them as Hridayam is very apt. They are therefore very precious. For these reasons, they are considered very sacred and therefore secret, not to be easily given out. Gopyametat sada kuryat, na sarvatra prakashayet, says Narayana Hridayam in its later part. Because of this restriction, these stotras were handed down from a worthy guru to deserving disciples only. They were not freely available like Vishnu Sahasranam. Only some noteworthy features of this Lakshmi Hridaya Stotram are mentioned in this brief introduction. The viewer is requested to read the comments given to Narayana Hridayam to get a complete picture of the two stotras that are linked together. Now, about Lakshmi Hridayam. The first 15 verses praise Lakshmi Devi and offer salutations to her. Since she is the mother of all creation, she can bless the devotee with all material wealth, but she is inseparable from the Lord. This is said by saying that one is within the other. Narayanasya hridaye bhavati yataste, Narayanapi tava hrit kamale yathaste, Narayanaswamapi nitya vibhuhu tathaiva, tau tishtatam mamapi dayanvitau shrihi. She is with the Lord at all places. Yatha Vaikuntha Nagare, Yatha Vai Kshirasagare, Tatha Madbhavane Tishta, स्थिरं विष्णुना सह योगिनां हृदये नित्यं यथा तिष्ठसि विष्णुना तथा मद्भवने तिष्ठ स्थिरं श्रीविष्णुना सह. She is also the self seated in the heart of all beings. She is stated to be Sarvabhutantarastha in the Lakshmi Hridayam. So, he is not different from the Lord, who also says he is the self seated in the heart of all beings. Ahamatma Gudakesha Sarvabhuta Shayasthitaha in Bhagavad Gita. Thus, it is evident that she is identical with Narayana and can confer all that one may seek, including liberation or moksha. This is said in the Lakshmi Hridayam as Gatyai Namostu Varasadgati Dayakayai. Further, it is to be noted that if one's accumulated karmas stand in the way of the progressing towards the liberation in the form of writing on the head, Lalata Likhita Rekha, by the creator Brahma, she, being the creator of everything with the name and form including Brahma, can alter the same and help his progress. Lilekha nitile vidhirmama lipim visrajyantaram त्वया विलिखितव्यं एतदिति तत्फलप्राप्तये तदन्तिकफलस्पुष्टं कमलवासिनी श्रीरिमां समर्पय समुद्रिकां सकलभाग्यसंसूचिकां in Lakshmi Hridayam. Here, the word creator does not mean she has created something out of nothing, but only means that she has evolved as everything. She has become Brahma the creator and the Vishnu the protector also. Srishtikartri Brahmarupa Goptri Govinda Rupini. Sri Vedanta Deshika uses this idea in his Sri Hayagriva Stotram in verse 20. Vilupta Murdhanya Lipikramanam Surendra Chudapada Lalitanam Twadhangri Rajiva Rajakkananam Bhuyan Prasado Mayinatha Bhuyat. The great Acharya prays to the Lord that the pollen dust of his lotus feet should fall on his head so as to remove the letters written by Brahma at his birth. He indicates that even gods like Indra salute his feet with the same idea, that is, the dust of Lord's feet should fall on their heads and alter their fate as decreed by the scribbling of Brahma on their head. Lord Krishna gives the assurance to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita that with his mind firmly fixed on him, he will cross over all difficulties in his spiritual path. Macchittaha sarvadurgani matprasadat tarishyasi. The Lakshmi Hridayam repeatedly asks for the fulfillment of the first two of four goals, wealth and enjoyment of pleasures of life got from wealth, but wealth in the hands of one without discretion can have disastrous consequences. It can lead one away from the spiritual path and to his downfall. Our scriptures warn one of this and say that one who hoards wealth without sharing with the needy is indeed a thief and deserves punishment in Bhagavad Gita. Yavad bhriyate jataram tavat swatvam hi dehinam adhikam yobhimanyeta sasteno dandamarhati. Keeping this injunction in mind, the devotee asks for wisdom before seeking wealth and also asks her to bless the heart with compassion to enable him to share the wealth liberally with others. Vijnana vruddhim hridaye kurushrihi saubhagya vruddhim hridaye kurushrihi daya suvrishtim kurutam maishrihi suvarna vrishtim kurume kare shrihi. The end portion contains some significant requests. We saw that Lakshmi Hridayam repeatedly asks for good things of life, wisdom, etc. But, as stated earlier, whatever is got by our own efforts or karma will be finite and so will not last for long. Our life will continue to have fluctuations. The better and wiser alternative is to make the Lord stay in our hearts forever by having steadfast devotion to Him. Then all auspicious things will be with us forever. So, the Lakshmi Hridayam asks for Sri Shangri Bhakti or devotion to the feet of the Lord first. Sri Shangri Bhaktim Haridasa Dasyam Prasanna Mantrartha Dhridaika Nishtam Guroho Smritim Nirmala Bodha Buddhim Pradehi Mataha Paramam Padam Shrihi. The saint Kulashekara also asked not for the three Purusharthas, that is, Dharma, Artha, and Kama. He says that let events, good or bad, happen according to karmas he had done. He prays to the Lord to grant him unwavering devotion to his lotus-like feet in this and in future births. According to Mukundamala. Nastha dharme na vasunishche naiva kamopabhoge yadyadbhavyam bhavatu bhagavan purvakarmanurupam etat prarthyam mama bahumatam janma janmantarepi tvat padambhoruha yugagata nischala bhaktirastu. The Vishnu Purana says the same truth by stating that those who may be bereft of worldly possessions and so termed poor in the worldly sense are really rich if their hearts have the wealth of love for Sri Hari. The reason is that Sri Hari also stays in the hearts, being tied with cords of love. Sakala Bhuvana Madhye Nirdhanastepi Dhanya Nivasati Hridi Yesham Sri Harer Bhakti Reka Harirapi Nijaloke Sarvatha Tam Vihaya Pravishati Hridi Tesham Bhakti Sutropanadha. So, the prayer is to grant before other things devotion to the feet of the Lord. Another prayer is being a servant to the servants of Hari. Our scriptures repeatedly stress the importance of service to the devotees of Lord. Sage Narada says in his Bhakti Sutra that the company of the devotees of the Lord is difficult to obtain. It never fails to produce beneficial results. It is got by the grace of God only. There is no difference between the Lord and His devotees. So, one should strive to get it. Mahat sangastu durlabho gamyo moghascha labhyatepi tat kripayaiva tasmin tat jane bheda bhavat tadeva sadhyatam. In Srimad Bhagavatam, we have the story of Lord's incarnation as Rishabha Deva. Before renouncing his kingdom and taking to the forests, he talks to his sons about the value of human life and how they should work for liberation. Though Rishabha Deva says he is an incarnation himself, he advises his sons not to surrender to him but to seek the company of devotees and serve them by saying, it is the doorway to the liberation. Mahat sevam dwaram mahuhu vimuktehe. Coming from the mouth of the Lord as an incarnation, it shows the immense value of service to the devotees of the Lord. The company of the devotees removes the impurities in the mind, brings calmness to the mind. More importantly, it instills faith in the statements of the scriptures and acharyas known as Shraddha. Only one who is keenly interested, has controlled his senses, and has Shraddha can gain knowledge, says Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tatparaha samyatendriyaha. One gets the qualifications required for acquiring Vedantic knowledge. Sri Shankaracharya glorifies the association of the devotees in his Shivananda Lahari by saying it as great as the company of the Lord himself. Samipyam Shivabhakti Dhurya Janata Sangatya Sambhashane. Once the mind is clear in impurities like greed, anger, etc., and also imbibed noble qualities from the association of the devotees, God sends him a suitable guru. The Vedantic wisdom has necessarily to be obtained from the guru's mouth. Tad vijnanartham sa gurumevabhi gachet samitpanihi shrotriyam brahmanishtam. Mandukopanishad. Krishna also advised Arjuna to serve men of wisdom and seek knowledge. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. The Guru's teachings remove the doubts that may be clouding the student's mind, and his intellects become clear, and said here as Nirmala Bodha Buddhihi. The Upanishad says that a person endowed with discriminating intellect has controlled his mind and has got concentration, reaches the end of the very, very long road that is known as samsara, and reaches the supreme goal and becomes free from all bondages. This is known as liberation and said herein as Paramam Padam, highest abode of the Vishnu or Brahman. Vijnana Sarathir Yastu Manapragrahavan Naraha Sodhvanaha Paramapnoti Tadvishnoho Paramam Padam. The word Paramam Padam mentioned here is a well-known name of the Lord. Paramanuttamam evam padhyate gamyate mumukshubhiriti padam. Yasmad utkrishtam nasti tadanuttamam. It is the highest place or goal that is attained by the seekers of liberation. Attaining does not imply going to some far off place like Vaikuntha or Kailasa. Liberation means understanding one's own true divine nature and abiding in it. This is said here as Vishnoho Paramam Padam, or the highest place of all pervading Brahman, of the Supreme Self. The end portion says, the benefits one may get by reciting the Lakshmi Hridayam. It assures that the goddess Lakshmi will fulfill the desires of her devotee and look after him like her son. There is a story in the Mahabharata to illustrate this. Balarama, the elder brother of Krishna, planned to get his sister Subhadra married to Duryodhana. In the meantime, Arjuna happened to look at her and was captivated by her bewitching beauty. His mind was set on marrying her and wanted to talk about his wish to his friend Krishna. But he was worried at the same time that if Krishna agreed to help him and took steps, it may create a rift between the brothers Krishna and Balarama. He was at his wits' end and wanted a way out of the predicament. He prayed to sage Vyasa, who promptly appeared before him. He put his problem before the sage and requested his help. The sage taught him Lakshmi Hridayam and asked him to recite the stotram in the presence of a lamp lighted with ghee, and assured him that he will succeed in his endeavor. Arjuna followed the sage's advice, recited the Lakshmi Hridayam with faith, and married Subhadra in the end. It will be evident from what is said here that both Narayana Hridayam and Lakshmi Hridayam are valuable hymns and like veritable mines of precious gems. An interested reader will be able to find more gems if he digs deep into them. The greater benefit will be that by reciting them regularly, one will develop devotion to divine couple Lord Narayana and Goddess Lakshmi, and thus reap their abundant grace. Om